council here now, so we'll resume the meeting. And when we left on Thursday, we were about going into executive session. So okay, so we'll go into executive session.
Michael.
Yes.
What?
No, we're gonna go into executive session, Ken.
Okay.
Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Bam here. He wanted to do a community update, so I'm sorry. Before we go into executive session, Bam can do his community update, so sorry about that, Bam. Oh, yeah.
Brandon Kierson, I'm vice chair for what community council. Here. Bonjour. Good morning, everyone. Brandon Kier. I am the vice chair of the White Earth Community Council. I just have a few updates for this month. For the White Earth Community Council, we put a disc golf course in August 20th. I believe the guys came and put the holes in for that, so we got that up and coming. And we are halfway through our needs, finishing up our needs list we have for the White Earth Community Council. I went door to door and handed surveys out so we could see what our area members want and need for a better place for our kids and stuff. So we should be getting that get that done soon. We have the powwow all done to the T with vendors all the way. Yep, we're done. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bam.
Thanks, Pam.
Whose kid is that anyway?
Bye.
All right, next up on the agenda, we have adult basic education resolution.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
if they can get the check for the powwow today, so they can start getting stuff ready for that.
Curtis, working in?
Good.
Yeah, next up is resolution number 03821-031. That was amendment to adult basic education. Did you see that, council? Oh.
Where is it?
Which one is that, Mike?
Yeah, it's on the one from you to,
What did I do?
yeah, it was a change or was it an
Old
amendment?
business
It
What
was
is
old
it?
business.
was the resolution for school district, have Lori,
Oh, yeah, yeah, Mike, that was, we needed Lori York to be listed as sign-in authority for the requirement for the tribal college to submit. And so we were just seeking ratification. Is that correct, Maria?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
an amendment change or something.
We just had to update the form.
Okay, motion to, do we have to do a motion? Motion to ratify the ABA
Adult basic education.
report to the executive director. Okay. Motion by Alan,
Second.
second by Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries Big Rich. All right. So next up, we have executive session. Thank you for all for coming. So
Am I invisible?
what's going on, Kevin?
The world. But can you clarify to me that on Thursday that we went into recess because there was business that was not finished from Thursday? And so is that not what we're here today to finish that business from Thursday?
Yeah, but we're finished. There's nothing else on the agenda.
But that's,
Mike, to clarify,
Yeah.
I think we added two items. One was economic statement and then cannabis update. We had added those on Thursday.
Yeah, the only thing I have is a needs assessment and cannabis update. So,
As I recall,
well, and
Mr. Oganosh, Representative Jackson, I believe we added the economic interest statements to the agenda. Is that correct?
No,
We added last Thursday the economic interest statements and then cannabis update. Is that correct? I believe we did.
yeah, I got economic interest statements down.
What's on there?
Economic interest statements.
Cannabis update.
Yeah.
okay, so,
You want to do those now or?
yeah, well, that's the last thing on here, so I have. So,
That's not an executive.
Oh, it's right now.
That's
right.
huh?
We're gonna do those right now.
Council, is that gonna be an executive or you guys want to do it openly?
Doesn't matter to me, I guess, whatever the rest want.
this is for the people, they need to witness it. All right.
Well, council?
Go ahead.
All right, well, I had to ask first, so. All right, so what's the first one was that economic needs assessment?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So I had a number of band members approach me related to the economic interests of council members, board members that represent the interests of White Earth Nation. And the band members have requested that specific comments were made that, you know, if a council member or board member for that matter is involved with other businesses outside of their job, that that business activity be reported to the council and to the legal department so that folks have a clear understanding. This is important for transparency and of the tribal government. I know there's other organizations that out there that require this sort of requirement. For example, if you're in a board member on a corporation and you are contracting with a entity, and let's say you're a part owner of that entity, right? You have to disclose that relationship, right? And so by having economic interest statements available for the council to be made aware of, this would help avoid potential problems in the future. I don't believe this has been done in the past. Kind of looking at the legal, no, we haven't done this in the past. So I would just request that the legal department maybe come up with something for the RBC to take a look at. And so that it's like a form, so we can take a look at it to see if that's something the RBC would like to do.
And if I may add to that, Jameson, the blessed individual that brought me here today, he passed out an inquiry. I think the council all received it. I believe you received it also. This is pertaining to questions that I asked you of on Thursday that you refused to answer. There was 3 questions. that were specifically directed towards you. And you refused to
All
answer.
right, Kevin, I mean, we're going to the next part, so this wasn't part of the meeting,
But that,
so,
it's.
but thank you for that.
It's along the same lines.
Yeah, but I'm not here to answer your question here right now.
If I'm a member and I have a question, remember you received that Eagle.
Yes, your question, but you can put it in writing to me
It's in
too.
writing,
Yes,
it's right there. And you got the email. So you got it in writing. And I had Douglas, my brother, read it to you last week, and you refused to answer the question. This is 4 questions now. You refuse to answer me. You remember the first one. So can you explain to me why you can't answer these 3 questions? Please, to God.
well, we'll talk in executive session, so
Why can't you talk now?
we'll talk about an executive session, Kevin.
Why can
Thank
you
you.
not talk about it now?
Next up is cannabis update.
According to the Constitution.
So you're violating my constitutional
Right,
rights.
doesn't he,
Well, I have rights too,
it has to
Kevin,
be disclosed.
and
when
you
the
can
members
submit it
ask.
in writing.
It is in writing.
Yes, but you could do it, I'll talk to my legal counsel, so thank
You need
you.
to talk to your legal counsel to answer these 3 questions?
I'm done.
Does that mean you're?
On next to the cannabis
You say you're
update. Thank
done?
you.
Does that mean you're quitting? You're
Thank you,
resigning?
Kevin. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
No, you don't.
All right, next up is cannabis update. Was that it?
Yes, Mr. Chair, for cannabis update, I was hoping Lenny was going to be here. However, he did include in the packet, Mr. Chairman, a draft version of a resolution for decriminalization, which was drafted by Mr. Douglas Lee. I know there's been subsequent amendments that have been since made, which aren't included in your packets. Also, there is included in the packet a proclamation of for cannabis on the reservation for the people of White Earth which was drafted by Mr. Kevin Shores, Mr. Chair. And it's been since updated
That was by Cannabis Aki,
by Cannabis Aki.
the group.
Yep. My apologies, it was done by Cannabis Aki. That's also included in your packet. I know there's been changes, so we want to make sure that you guys have the latest information. My discussion with Mr. Fine I know he has not had an opportunity to discuss these matters with Chief LaRock on the potential decriminalization of cannabis on the reservation. And so that's where I understand where we're at with it. I think because of the changes that have been proposed, and we want to make sure that because I remember when the initial discussion came up on the agenda, I think it was a meeting ago last month, Mr. LaRock was going to weigh in on that as well. So I don't know if Mr. LaRock wants to say any few words on the cannabis matter.
Not at this time, no. I'm not gonna, I did make a statement that as a citizen and a enrolled member here, I can give you my opinion on decriminalization of cannabis and marijuana, but as my role as a director and a chief, I need some legal, I'm gonna talk to legal before I make a statement on that.
Okay.
Alan, that proclamation, there's been no changes in that proclamation at all.
Okay.
That's been the same for the last month now. What Douglas Lee wrote up, the Cannabis Aki board is still reviewing that.
Okay.
But we as Cannabis Aki, we're demanding that proclamation finally be addressed.
Chief LaRock? May I ask your personal opinion
My
on
personal opinion?
decriminalization and legalization?
I support it, my personal opinion.
Which,
So the request, Mr. Chair, would be that in no later than the next meeting that we have, that the legal counsel and Chief LaRock, maybe bring something for the RBC to take a look at for consideration, which would include the resolution and the proclamation.
Leonard Fine reviewed the proclamation when it was first submitted a month ago, and he had no challenges with it at all. It was discussing the decriminalization is where we were trying to sit down with him about that. But the proclamation is as simple as it gets, and it's for the immediate assistance of the people. So like today, if you guys vote on it today, it's passed. It helps the people today, not next week, not a year and a half ago, not since 2004 when I first begged the council to bring cannabis to the reservation. Because on many different levels, it'll help the people. And is that not what we are here for, to help the people? And it's one page. It can be read and it's simple. It's as simple as you can get. It originally was 7 pages. We've got it down to 1 page. The backside is definitions. So I demand that you guys are breaking my heart that it keeps getting dragged on and dragged on and dragged on, where this simple single page that could be read and reviewed right now. Leonard Fine said there was no problem with it. He didn't see a challenge with it.
May I read it?
Please.
White Earth Nation Cannabis Legalization Proclamation. We, the Anishinaabe, proclaim our inalienable inherent rights of existence afforded to us by Gitchimanadu, that by this day forth, we, the Anishinaabe, do proclaim that the cultivation of individual cannabis is deemed legal, and agree that in its simplicity shall grow minimally 13 cannabis plants for the Bimadeziwin. We, the Anishinaabe of Aki, the White Earth Reservation, proclaim that it is well within our rights to utilize the entirety of the cannabis plant for its full potential. First and foremost, these rights are to be upheld by the revised constitution and bylaws of the Chippewa Tribe of Minnesota. We, the Anishinaabe, can legally, personally grow, cultivate cannabis inside and outside of where we are domiciled, reside within the territories, boundaries of all lands of Aki bestowed to us by Gitchimanadu. The cannabis plant has over 100,000 potential byproducts, and through its cultivation can and will have an auspicious impact on the future of Aki, the reservations, and the people. Since the dawn of civilization, cannabis has been utilized for a multitude of functions, fulfilling the basic needs of survival, food, clothing, and shelter, to optimal health maintenance, pain management, to future and current disease intervention. Most importantly, cannabis is a sustainable crop, which means that it can be cultivated with little to no impact on Aki. As with the Anishinaabe traditional ideologies of harvesting what is needed for the Bimadeziwin, we desire to maintain the respectful ways of cultivating cannabis with integrity and simplicity in maintaining organic heirloom cannabis, by not allowing the plant to be tainted by genetic modification and the utilization of detrimental pesticides and herbicides. We will ensure a positive source of cannabis to be first and foremost distributed to the entities of White Earth and other reservations of the Anishinaabe. Because of the positive outcome that cannabis has, it is important that the cultivation further the momentum towards a sustainable and prosperous future. So then there's legalization definitions.
McRitch.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
in the definitions, you don't have the definition of cannabis. Now, I think that should be added in there. And also, I understand that it hurts you that we don't act on it today, but also we need our lawyer here. He's out sick, so Mike needs to confer with him. And, I'd like to talk to Lenny on a few things because, is this cannabis gonna have the THC in it? Is it gonna be medical? What are we gonna be growing?
The byproducts.
Cannabis.
Cannabis is the plant. Everything else, whatever you choose to do with that plant is a byproduct. The plant itself is cannabis sativa.
So is it
No,
gonna have
cannabis.
THC in it?
Well,
There's cannabis
It's cannabis.
sativa, cannabis indica.
absolutely. You
But-
can't help but have
Okay.
THC in it.
Then, yeah, then I need to talk to Lenny. I'm not going against you guys or anything. I just need, more info from Lenny. And that's just me. I don't know about the rest of the council, but, that's where I sit right now, because I read it over and over this weekend, so. And there is some stuff in the what is resolution that I wanna talk to Lenny about too, and maybe Doug after this meeting, but.
But why can't you talk to Cannabis Key about the proclamation? Where,
Because it's all right here. So I said there was no definition of cannabis on the back where you defined everything else. I think that has to be in there.
but
And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not going against you. I'm all for it, but I need to just make sure that, everything, all the ducks are in a row, because we all know it isn't legalized in Minnesota yet,
It
but,
doesn't- do you rate?
Call me which guys, so. But yeah, we'll get your answer, so.
Regulate our gardens?
But let's take a break before we go into executive session.
I have serious questions that I need
This
addressed
is-
too,
This
Chairman.
is asinine. think the
I got
whole
serious
council
questions I
needs
need
to be
addressed
removed
today.
now. This is,
So my concern is I want to go on the record today and let the people of White Earth know that this cannabis design, I'm an architecture firm, that we have over 1 million square feet in operational cannabis successful facilities going on right now. This thing has got red flags all over it. I just want to make sure that White Earth got a good deal. That's why I came up here. I've been trying to get to be involved in this for a year. I've been shut out. This design is bad from the rip. To go in and do stages, and where's contamination, and we're being sold a bill of goods that's totally not right. And so their whole design, their plan is set up for failure. So when they fail over there,
All right.
and contaminate, no.
We're going to
I
executive
wanna-
session.
oh, no,
You can't-
Mike.
You
No,
can't
no,
talk
no.
down to
No, Mike.
our board.
I know what I'm doing with this, and
So,
the board's fake, for one thing.
Well,
You know the board's fake.
thank
It's
you.
controlled by you.
He's
We want
being-
answers.
we'll go on
This is what I
break.
do for a living, Mike.
He's being very
This is what I
polite.
do for a living.
You just cut him off, he
Thank
that's
you.
your work for him.
Where's the $6 million
He's a
that they
concerned
spent?
member. Do you guys see this again? Are you witnessing
please,
this
Chief
again?
LaRock.
Annie, I mean, I need to speak
I
to this about
demand
this
that
design.
you